Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome to the live. Hi Kesha. Hey y'all. Welcome to my live. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I won't get to say wave at everybody, but hey. How everybody doing? It's such a nice day out. Oh my God. It's so nice. Hey sis. It is so nice. It's so nice in Jersey today. And I'm so mad because my daughter was here for the weekend. And she was cold. So y'all know my heat was on Hell Boulevard. Like I lived on the block with the devil. And it's hot. It is so hot in here. So welcome to my live, y'all. Y'all might hear my air blowing, but it is so hot. But come on in. We'll have a nice show today. But welcome to Community and Connection Chats with D, where we create conversation and we connect with the community among real people with everyday issues, stories, topics, entertainment, and more. So thank y'all for coming in with me today. Today we have let me just let y'all know we're on IG every Tuesday at 6. I share on Facebook immediately, share on IG immediately after the show for anyone who missed the 6 p.m. show. So if you missed it, you'll get to see it immediately. I'll be up on YouTube no later than Friday. It'll be posted on YouTube. So once it comes down off of IG or Facebook, you can go right on my YouTube. Link is in the bio, and you can watch all the episodes if you missed the last 2 episodes, because this is my 3rd episode. Hi, daughter. My daughter just came in. I just told a story of how you had the heat on in here, and it feels like hell, and I had to turn on my central air. So, you missed that story. But as far as today's show, let me make sure. Let me see if I got them in here yet. If you're in here, Dres, just put a black heart in the comments, and I know you're here. But yeah, Jersey is so nice today. I didn't even realize, because when I came out this morning, it was freezing cold, and then I come out later on, and it was burning up hot. You didn't even need a jacket in Jersey, so I don't know what's going on. It's bipolar weather. Okay. But today, the last couple episodes, we had some crying, we had some serious topics going on. But today, we're going to have a little fun. And we're going to, we're going to talk to BlackSheep. Dres just came in. So we're going to talk to him today. And we're going to have a good show today. No crying today. We're going to have a good show. So without further ado, I just want to introduce our guest. I'm sure you guys are familiar. I know I'm familiar. I'm rocking the shirt. That era was very special to me. That was the native tongue era. That era gave me confidence. I was always different. I always dressed different. So that era, I wore the medallions. I rocked all the same clothes they was wearing. I knew all the verses to all the songs. But native tongue, some of you don't know, some of you too young to know, but I'm glad that a lot of the young people are still following the music, and they still pumping BlackSheep. When I go into their party, the cookout with my daughter, I still hear the song. So the native tongue is and still is, not was, is Jungle Brothers, A Tribe Called Quest, Beat Nuts, De La Soul, Moni Love, Queen Latifah, Chi Ali, Leaders of the New School, and lo and behold, there's always a black sheep in the family, especially my family, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna bring to the stage, let me bring in Dres, Dres. Dres, I played the music for you and everything. You missed it. So I just brought him in. Let me bring him in. Let me wait for him to turn in.
All right.
Hey, Dres.
What's up, cousin?
How you doing, Kazoo?
I'm good. How you?
I'm okay. Thanks for doing our show today.
It's a pleasure.
I appreciate it. You know, I really do.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
How's your day? How's your day? Is it warm where you at?
It was a decent day outside today. Yeah, I had a little run around to do, and yeah, so I was running around a little bit earlier, taking care of a few things, and yeah, made it back in time to jump online with you. Everything good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I told a little story before you came in about your little cousin burning me up, and I felt like I was in, Hell Boulevard over here because she was here for spring break and she was cold, so she left my
Okay.
heat on. And when I got up today, I was like, "Oh my God, it's so hot."
All right.
Yeah. So, how you like the introduction? I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming in. What's been going on? Just to chop it up with you.
Yeah, the introduction was definitely fabulous. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? As all of the natives, they always appreciate all the love that we've been getting for, over 30 years now, which is amazing within itself. And all of us are still pretty active, you know what I'm saying? Actually getting ready to go overseas to join De La Soul in the UK on the 20th. I'm out in London and a few other spots, running around with them. I mean, like business as usual, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's crazy that hip hop has become this worldwide thing that we share, as opposed to just, something that really began really organically, you know what I'm saying, East Coast, and was really, really popular throughout the tri-state, and just started weaving its way, all over the world. And today it's just this thing that literally in any corner of the world, there's hip hop music, and to which we've done a lot of work to get it there. So it's a really dope thing that exists today. I hope that we get the opportunity to maximize the potential that we created.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I was saying when you did the introduction that, that native tongue era, it gave me a lot of confidence. Like I never heard the disrespect, the violence. You guys were always like family, friends, and I just appreciated that era so much. And I don't know if I ever told you the story, but when I used to be in the house, your cousin Sherry, she used to be cleaning up and be playing Flavor of the Month. And I was just in my room trying to master Moni Love's part in Ladies First, but I couldn't hear because the Flavor of the Month was playing all the time. So, but I love all of the whole era, Wolf and Sheep Clothing, everything. That whole era inspired me, and and I was, from being from Newark, that era, like to come out and dress like you guys had the medallions and everything, it was different. It was different.
Yeah. Native definitely had their own little flavor, you know what I'm saying? Like beginning with the Jungle Brothers, have you on the camouflage and the fatigues and what have you, safari wear, to De La and Jungle, much more, De La and our tribe, much more Afrocentric, almost hippie-ish to a degree, you know what I'm saying? Very bohemian. Then us, we were kind of much more, a little more, I'll say urban chic, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, kind of, we was a little more valleys
Mm-hmm.
and silk shirt with it, you know what I'm saying? But I think we all carried a pro-Black message that was very important to not only the hip hop community, but important to the Black community, you know what I'm saying? And what I felt like we were, and it's unfortunate that I don't feel like we've taken it to the place we were supposed to take it. We made a lot of songs about empowerment, about education, about doing for self, about knowledge of self, and the power of us pooling our resources and us being together, the importance of family, you know what I'm saying, which is one of the most downtrodden things in the Black community, is the Black family. They've effectively broken us down to the point where they don't even have to separate us anymore. We'll separate ourselves through our actions. You know what I'm saying? And it's really unfortunate that, like that we, as the native tongue, weren't able to be a microcosm of the things that we were asking the people to be. We were supposed to form some of the things that, you know, that are formed now. We were supposed to form our own distribution network. We were supposed to form our own touring company. You know what I'm saying? There's supposed to be a native tongue tour. There's supposed to be a native tongue album that comes out yearly, let alone our own individual things. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that we were asking the people to do to be unified, once the money kind of came into play, we were able to stand on our own as individuals. The necessity for the community wasn't as important. You know what I'm saying? And I see the same thing happening in the Black community today, whereas, you know, like there'll be a successful individual in our community and they use that success as a platform to say, I'm different.
Right.
I'm better. You know what I'm saying? And
it's like competition.
Yeah, people. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, it's just us. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing that always seems to evade us, is that it's just us. East, west, north, south. It's just us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and, you know, like we look at each other with this notion, like we're in each other's way.
Exactly. And not supporting one another.
Oh, yeah, you know, at all. And, you know, and even, you know, some of the sacrifices that are essential to us moving together as a unit. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know, it's hard sometimes. And especially as an elder statesman at this point, you know, like, you know, it's almost like where cats, the perception is that older cats don't really mess with the younger cats, but that's far from the truth. The real perception is that the younger cats eat the older cats. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, the older you are, the more platforms diminish, the more, you know, like your abilities kind of become funneled. You know what I'm saying? And it's only a little bit goes through a funnel. A lot can come into the funnel, but only a little bit's gonna come through. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens as you get older. You know, it's almost like, you know, all right, well, there's still an older community, but it's funneled, you know what I'm saying, as to who's going to share the platform with, you know, with
what we call ageism, you know.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of ageism, and it's kind of whacked to the degree that as we get older, we have so much more to share. We have such a better understanding of who we are, of the world around us, of the things that a young person might even need to know so that they can maneuver masterfully. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we continuously make the same mistakes generation after generation because we aren't heeding the opportunities that the generation before us offer. We don't stand on each other's shoulders.
No.
You know,
and that's why, you know, I wanted to build this platform, you know, to recognize our icons in our community. You know, the people that mostly are not recognized, but then when it comes to entertainment, and like I, you know, titled your show for icons, you know, I wanted to go back to my icons for the music that I grew up listening to, that we still want to hear you guys. We still want, I'm still begging for a native tongue tour. You know, I want to see everybody together.
It really should be there. And there's no real reason that it doesn't exist other than something that I didn't think would ever come between us. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of money and a little bit of ego. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like we you know,
but
like
not life. Like, you know, like life changes, you know, like we all, like I'm in a sorority, so I don't get to hang with my sorority sisters as much because of life. I'm a parent. Right. So what do you think about it? Is that, could that be a reason too?
Life happens. You know what I'm saying? But in life, there's things that you prioritize. There's things that are more important than other things. And there's also things that give life to other things. You know what I'm saying? And in giving life to other things, I think our example is highly, highly important because, you know, like I said, you know, like we made these songs. Now, someone can take those songs and learn from them and move and move something forward. But had we done that ourselves, then someone could have took that and moved that forward. You know, it's almost like someone has to kind of not even someone, a collective needs to kind of fill up in the slack that we didn't fill, so that it can move forward.
So do you think some of the which is going into one of the questions I wanted to ask you, but you think an influence from this younger generation, an artist that's out now, would be a great influence to possibly put that together?
Yeah. Like, in one of the things that I do know, saying, and one of the things that I'm playing for, like, I do know one of the things that exists in I think in every crew is a totem pole. And at different points in time, different cats are at the top of a totem pole. All depends on who has a hot record this year, who has a momentum, who's being deemed wet this year. But when you get to the top of the totem pole, everybody under you kind of listens to where your head is at. But you kind of got to climb to the top of the totem pole for everyone to hear you. It's almost like they won't hear you from the bottom of the totem pole. It's almost like you telling, like, like if I tell, just for happenstance, if I told LeBron that he should spend his money like this, everybody's gonna look at me like, like, what the fuck is you talking? Why are you spending LeBron's money? This, but if I climb to a place where my pockets are comparable to LeBron's, and then I say, LeBron, we should be putting our money into this, then it's, okay, word. So like I said, you have to climb to that totem pole where you're looking at people that you want to pull in.
The influences.
Right. You have to be able to look at everybody in their eye when you want them to do something. You kind of, it's a hard position to be looking up to ask someone to do something. You know what I'm saying? And and just as men, you have to, like that's the place that you want to be. You want to be in a space where it's not a favor, or as much as it's the next thing that we need to do. Simple. Like, I'm not asking you a favor to do something for our community. This is what we need to do.
Exactly.
I recently heard J.R. Smith, speak to something I've been speaking on for years. Like, and like I said, and this is not to monitor or tell cats how to spend their money, but any dude that, would go to a strip club and throw $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in a strip club that has a relative that, that has a bill due is out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I agree.
If the cats in your crew, if you haven't given, if they haven't come at you with a business plan, that same $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, like should be implemented to each person that you deem important with a plan. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying go throw, some money at somebody because they dancing and, but the things that we do are ridiculous. And in hindsight, so foolish. And it's like J.R. Smith had got it. Like he had said, he was speaking to some of his, brothers and athletes. And he was speaking to, how he has personally spent $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in a strip club when each time that's a different entity. And he was also speaking to, all right, now there's a ton of millionaires. There's a small group of billionaires, but there's a lot of millionaires.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
For the first time in hip hop, for the first time in Black community, you know what I'm saying? Like before you go do something trivial, and JR was saying this, and I was so glad to hear, because I've said this so many times. Like if you take 5 millionaires and each of them put $200,000 together yearly, you know what I'm saying? Like, like you don't get twisted. If you got $1 million,
right. You don't give up your whole million. You
right,
can put
exactly. But if you hold in, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 million, 100 million, whatever, which there's a ton of these cats, then yearly resources should be pooled to go towards things that matter in our community.
That's right. And to put, a smile on people's face, because with so much that's been going on, to give a concert or a charity event and have some of, our old school rappers or icons come to the show and do it for charity. that would be the smartest thing ever.
I mean,
But and not to bring up other things, but we out here, we could come up with all this money to send for wars, but we got people hungry over here. We got people losing jobs over here.
I mean, yeah, there's so many things that we can do if we start pooling our resources as a community. You know what I'm saying? And, and it's been done before. And unfortunately, some of the times that was done in the past, it was literally physically knocked down, what I'm saying, and taken away from us. Because the power that we possess has always been something that's feared. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, what I'm saying, and we've allowed ourselves to buy into other people's fears. You know what I'm saying? Our strength is our unity, is who we are together. Like sometimes you'll get a chance to see how powerful we are as a people. Look at the last election. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened in the last election. Something simple as everyone voting one way or what have you. I mean, but that should exist for everything in our community.
Everything. We should come together.
For everything in our community. And also, I dare say, when someone goes afoul on one of us, they go afoul on all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like we, we have to get to a place where, we stop letting our house fall in on ourselves. And that we do establish a code. And yeah, sometimes we might not all agree, but once we establish a code, whatever the consensus is, that's how we're rolling. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And there's a unity that just doesn't exist in our community. And it's the most unfortunate thing because we've literally bought into a system of things that literally don't exist. North, south, east, west, coasts. What? You know what I'm saying? What? For us, nah, and even, I dare say, some of the gang activity and things, that's not who we are. No. That's not who we are. And if you weren't born into it, you are far from it.
Exactly.
Don't seek anything that of that nature. If you're born into it, at least I have that much of an understanding that you were born into something, that's a little bit bigger than you. But if you're not born into something, then then you seeking life.
Right, because living here on the East Coast, I didn't know about gangs and stuff until I would go visit the West Coast, go visit my family on the West Coast. Then I knew about the gangs and stuff. So as I get older now, my kids are talking about what they hear in music or see on TV or in the school, and it blows my mind that when I was growing up, that wasn't in my. They had little gangs in the area, whatever.
I mean, crews, it's more crews, and what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that always existed, what I'm saying? And get twisted, when I was young, there were gangs in New York. There were, Black Spades and things of that nature.
Yeah, Latin Kings, things
that. Right. But, but it was far from the voice of our people. Yeah. These days, it's, it's literally an extension of our voice. And and that's not really real, what I'm saying? It's us buying into something that once again is pitting us against ourselves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And even in the light of some being successful, it diminishes so many more. You know what I'm saying? And
and I think I mentioned, if bringing that young artist, to bring people together, to bring Native Tongue together and other hip hop artists. I wanted to ask you, is there anybody that you're listening to right now that some of the new era music?
Yeah. I mean, there's some dope cats out here, and dope hip hop I think will always exist. It's just for us as the people. The people got to push it to the forefront. The people got to, just not allow the bar to be lowered, not allow artists to dumb us down. You know what I'm saying? But there's some dope hip hop cats in the form of some independent cats out of Jacksonville, Florida that I like a lot. Tough Junkie, my man Peyton Locke, who passed away, had a crew of cats out there that would just remind me of the Native Tongue. You know what I'm saying? So cats like Mal, Arson Fist, Tough Junkie. Like these are cats that live in Jacksonville, Florida, that remind me so much of the native tongue that it's scary.
Oh,
You know
gotta
what I'm saying?
share that. You gotta share them with me.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
Check out Tough Junkie. He's a special cat, special artist. But then there's cats right here in New York, like, you know, David Bars, you know, say my man Milano. The whole Griselda movement, I think, is
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love what they're doing. You
I
know,
just heard one of them on the radio this morning talking.
Yeah.
Who was it? Conway?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, like, and you know, and those are those cats as well. Like, you know, like those are mimes. Like, you know, so don't get twisted. They from a block that we've all walked through, which I think we can smell when we listening to them, which is, you know, which is always appreciated, the authenticity of where we've survived, of what we've survived. I appreciate that. But, you know, you can also hear where they're going with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, yeah, they're reminiscent of the block, but they're about to build something. You can see them boys' minds working. Right. And that's, you know, and that's who we are. That's where we come from. You know what I'm saying? You can apply some of the block stratego to any Fortune 500 company. You know what I'm saying? The most brilliant minds you will ever meet, you know, don't have college degrees, aren't from a learned situation, you know what I'm saying? But brilliant nonetheless, that they were able to look at something, dissect it, break it down, and figure out how you pull, you know, what's to be pulled from it. You know what I'm saying? So all of that is hip hop, you know what I'm saying? And I love that aspect of it, you know.
And is there anyone that's right now in the game that's influential to you, that's spitting off influential lyrics and they're in the game right now? Is there anyone that you recognize?
I mean, some of the cats, I think everybody's kind of doing their own thing to a large degree that I can respect it. Some of the new music that I might not necessarily know the name of it, this and the other, like, you know, if it's not the same monotony, then I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it doesn't sound like the same thing that just the same 8 records that are played every day, then I'm gonna hear it. If it sounds like the same thing, then, you know, then it's just gonna be background music to me. There's no one that's necessarily knocking my socks off at the moment, and I think that's just because that I'm the type of cat, like, I don't actively go looking for music. I'm the cat that I'm waiting for different things to catch my ear.
It slip up on you.
Right. Yeah. And not even through repetition. Like, I can hear something amazing and I want to be like, yo, who's that? What's that? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I look for. And now I'm on to something, like, all right, because I innately wanted to know what that was.
Right.
Most music doesn't these days. Most music doesn't do that. Most music doesn't make me say, wait, hold up a second. Yo, who's that? You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't.
Like that's what I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the artists, be it R&B, it could be hip hop, it could be rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, hold up. Yo, who's that? You know what I'm saying? Like
that's it doesn't give you that like it used to. You know, that's why
and
I'm still playing the old school music. My kids, my son, he surprised me when he turned on somebody from back in the day, or he playing your music, and and I'm just going, do you know who that is? Do you know that's your cousin? Sometimes he has no idea, but he end up he's playing it.
Right. But I mean, this is my word. Like, we grew up on our parents' music. You know what I'm saying? When we were kids, hip hop didn't exist. So, when we were kids, that was the go-to music. If I had an opportunity to play something, I wasn't gonna play nothing but what I heard my parents playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, like I had opportunity to, do much more. So, the households are real important as far as what our kids are listening to.
Absolutely. And we're the first influences. We're the first teachers.
We're the first DJs. Yeah.
We're the first DJ. That's a good one for me. I'm gonna tell my son that one. I'm the first DJ.
DJs our kids are gonna have. So it's important that we introduce them not just to what we like because it's the fad, but where we came from. You know what I'm saying? And not just hip hop wise, but musically. You know what I'm saying? It's important. It's important, and not just any color.
Right.
Like good music good music is universal, and good music doesn't have an expiration date. Good music, you know what I'm saying, like great music, you know what I'm saying, is timeless. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I just heard, like, I was listening, they were saying that they're trying to take history away from the Mississippi school district. And my son and I, we riding to school. I was riding to school. And I'm like,
What
that
black?
can never be done, huh?
What history? Our history?
There was just history. Period. They don't want to. They don't want to teach history in
Why
school
always a
in Mississippi.
Mississippi? I
Mississippi.
feel like Mississippi want to take away history, like as much history as some motherfuckers got.
Right, right. And that's where the family come from. And I told my son, I said they can't take away that when you have parents who have stories, stories to tell, music to play, and to tell you what we discovered, like we have to tell them the truth, because what they're learning in school
But
is,
we left. You know what I'm saying? Like we take for granted what we've survived. Like a lot of times, like where we are as a people, like it wasn't that long ago, like, literally that, we were being attacked. Like, and not to say that life has become this, flower bowl, not. But, there was a time when, us walking down the street, literally could see us attacked by police to mobs, to animals, to, and something as, frivolous as what water fountain we drunk from, what bathroom we went into, or, where we sat, in a restaurant or at a counter, you know what I'm saying? Was or what time of day it was in the town we were passing through, you know what I'm saying, could find us, literally dead to hospitalized to, just abused, you know what I'm saying. And this is our parents' lifetime, so this isn't something that's far-fetched, like a lot of times we look back on history, but history isn't that far behind us, you know what I'm saying. And moving forward, we always got to recognize that we are history now, you know what I'm saying. 50
we're
years
making it. We're
right,
continue to make it. Yeah.
right. 50 years from now, they're going to be looking back on what we did, what we said, how we stood, what we stood for, and I'd hate for it to be ultimately that, a few of them wound up going for self and becoming part of, the status quo of rich people, and the rest of them we subdued with a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're right.
We have a lot of fighting left to do. You know what I'm saying? And and don't get it twisted. The fight isn't with ourselves. If anything, the fight is within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
we fighting within ourselves every day, and a lot of people are still fighting in silence, and it's scary, that's why, we have to do things like this. We have to have a platform like this to talk to people, because some people just don't know where to turn or what resources to go to, or it's sad, and by us doing this, we're recognizing there's some kid watching right now who probably follows my son or daughter, and they're looking you up right now. I'm going to play BlackSheep. I want to play BlackSheep music. So we got to keep this. We got to keep this going.
No doubt. And one of the things that was important as well, like, from where we come from, is that we got an opportunity to learn from our music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me, or even how many times I've personally, growing up in hip hop, was able to extract a gem from a Melly Mel, you know what I'm saying? Or, from a Just Ice, from a Fearless Four. And even moving forward, like I can extract a gem from a little whoever, you know what I'm saying? From a young whoever, because I'm going to pay attention to what makes sense in it. Like, yeah, all of it doesn't make sense, but there's jewels these cats do. They've learned how to monetize. They've learned how to take, they've learned about the branding of a product in a way that's way beyond what our comprehension of that product was when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? These kids, like, they're growing up in it. They're very savvy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like them having a monetized page and being able to manipulate 3 or 4 different platforms through monetization, you know, is sheer genius, you know what I'm saying? And even in the monetization of an interview, you know, like something simple, and this is a jewel, and I'm gonna drop this on everybody that's really paying attention. All right. A lot of times in a monetized situation, and when I say monetized, what I'm saying is you have a page, say a YouTube page, but when it's monetized, there's ads on it. When you see somebody's YouTube page and there's ads on it, that page receives money. You know what I'm saying? Like for the followers they have, they're like someone that is a tastemaker, so to speak. So on a monetized page, if someone posts an interview that's an hour, right? Now, suppose that interview gets 100,000 views, does well. 100,000 views does well. Now, you take that same interview, you know what I'm saying? And you're starting to see it a lot. And people might not know what they're seeing, but I'm explaining to you what you're seeing so that you have an understanding of it. That same interview that's an hour, you take it and you break it down to 20 segments of 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You ever see when you see pieces of an interview, part number
like a reel of it or something? Yeah, in the
right, right. So you take that same interview that has 100,000 views, you break it into 20 parts of 3 minutes. So now there's 21 pieces of that interview. There's the original by itself. Now there's 20 pieces of the interview. Now, if you ever notice those little 3-minute segments of an interview, they'll be having about 50, 60, 70,000 as well as that 100,000. 1 or 2 of them might mess around and have 200,000 views. Now, the thing that you're not peeping is that when you take all of those 20 individual clips and you add them up, the numbers are really, it's going viral under your nose. It wasn't something that blew up in your face, but suppose each one of those 20 clips had, say, 50,000 views. That's 1 million views. Throw on the 100,000, that's 1.1. You know what I'm saying? But it's right in your face, but you never saw anything over 100,000 views.
Exactly.
You know but it's all under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So that same one interview that really just got 100,000 views, by breaking it up into pieces, you've now successfully created a picture where there's 1.1 million, and it was the same one interview. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a matter of what you did with it. And that's something I learned from the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Me too.
Right. And that's something that I'm going to implement.
I'm still learning.
Right. So, but you have to be open. No one's going to grab you by your hand and be like, let me show you this.
Exactly.
You have to pay attention to, like, why is everything broken down right now? Why everybody, I'm seeing all these clips and this and the other.
Right. But do you think that it's like you guys had to work hard to get, you know, to get on, you know, the stage and to get those albums out? Do you think that there's an easy way, you know, getting there right now in this era?
Right now, right now is the easiest time to ever been an artist. Like,
I think I could, you know,
you could download an app. You could download what's the shit?
SoundCloud.
What's the shit where you your voice is all electronic and shit?
Yeah, you could change.
You could do all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit, cats are jumping on the YouTube and snatching instrumentals of beats and putting rhymes on it and reintroducing
remixing it or whatever they call it. They have another name for it now, but you know, they doing all that.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean,
it's all
how quick are they to jump on and, you know, flag it for copyright? And when these kids know how to, you know, revamp things and get on there and
it's the wild
views.
Music is the wild west right now. But I say that there's never been a better time to be dope. You know what I'm saying? It's never been a better time to be different. Like, whenever music is like this, whenever music is kind of in a rut and everybody's kind of sounding the same, it's the perfect time to be an individual. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, word up, this is the perfect time to just be yourself. And this is my word, you will win so hard right now because everyone is trying to emulate a blueprint, a schematic. Everyone's trying to, you know, whatever looked like it was successful, everyone's running right for that ladder and trying to run right behind what they think success is. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many lanes that are open right now.
Absolutely.
The beautiful time in music, if you look at it the right way. You know, and I did say that, you know, like us as a community, like, yo, it's important that we start supporting things that speak for us. You know, like if something doesn't speak for you, why do you support it? You know, if something, you know, like it's almost we've become like this car crash watching community where, you know, like before I do anything to help you, I'm gonna film it.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, like that's become
I just had that conversation with a friend of mine. Yeah, they're
you know,
pulling out the phones before calling 911.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like that's not who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's not who we are. And we don't have to go far to find hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need to go looking for it. We come from hurt situations. You know what I'm saying? We've lived through enough hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to, you know, like really start really making some moves together. This is the perfect time for us to make a difference. We have more power than we realize. We are like the black vote. We have more power than we realize. You know what I'm saying?
But we always did, though.
Right.
It was just stolen from
always,
us. But
it was always feared. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like it's crazy because there were literally agendas to diminish who we are as a community. You know, and you know, like that can't be stated enough. Like, you know, like it's hard enough sometimes in life to do things on your own. Life is hard enough. But when someone's literally getting up with the agenda of making you not successful, you know, like, man, like, you know, like we've really, and that we still have success, you know, like, yo, we definitely are a very special people. It's time for us
very powerful. We
to
just
recognize ourselves.
Those powers.
Right. It's time for us to recognize ourselves. And when we look at each other, to see ourselves. I can't stress that enough. You know what I'm saying? When we look at each other, we don't see ourselves. And that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who you're looking at. When you look, right. When we look at each other, we are looking at ourselves, and it's time that we start moving as such.
Absolutely. And you know, I appreciated your Drink Champs episode. I did. I enjoyed it very much.
My word, like I got so many, so many stories. Like,
I know I jump on your live all the time. You know, you got to keep doing that because you know, I think you should go on and tell your stories very often. But you know, I wanted to give a shout out to Chia Lee, you know, who's still right there by your side. He's not 14 no more, but you know, big shout out to Kazoo. I told him. You know, that's my Kazoo too, and that's my twin. Everybody say we look alike too. But you know, his documentary, really good documentary. Everybody should check it out.
And the people who
amazing
are doing my D&D documentary. So you know, it's really coming along really well.
Right, tell us a little bit about that. Oh, and I wanted to mention, you know, Chia Lee's book. Everybody go to his link at Chia Lee and go to his bio.
A different kind.
Right in this bio, Another Kind of Freedom.
Yeah.
Get that book. Get this book in there too.
Really good book as well. Yeah. She's been putting in some really solid work, and I'm really proud of the work that
I am too. I'm very proud of.
You know, yeah. You know, like we all stumble, but you know, what's really important is that we get up. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, like we're all gonna make mistakes, but what you do after that mistake is
that's what matters.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the most important thing. You know, the mistake itself, that's par for the course. You know, like that's expected. The mistake is expected. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna get out of life without making some dumb moves. That's just what life is. You're gonna bump your head. But
life is a teacher.
Right. What you're gonna do after that is what defines you. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I've got plenty of speed knots, stitches, and all kinds of shit. I'm bump my head more than a little bit. You know, but you know,
but tell us about the Jay Dilla. What's going on with the Jay Dilla story?
Well, I was really fortunate to meet Dilla's mom and her husband Tony. And I was doing a charity event in California, and they had a crib out there. And I was blessed to hang out with them. And after hanging out with them for a night, they offered me the opportunity to go through some personal stuff with Dilla's and create a project. which I was blown away. Like, you know, J Dilla is just one of the most amazing producers that is no longer with us, but his music is just timeless. And he's done hits for the likes of some of our favorite artists, you know what I'm saying, for years and years, and passed at a young age. He's literally the Biggie Tupac of production, you know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the greats and will always be revered, always. And so I got an opportunity to make this amazing project. And in the middle of making this project, I got approached by the cats that did She's documentary to make a documentary about the making of this project.
All right.
So right, so the music is pretty much done. There's a little bit I'm gonna add to it, but now we're doing the documentary side. So we're gonna be filming probably up until the end of this year. So look for a D&D project. D&D is Dilla and Dres, and not only an album, but a documentary about the making of the album, in which is kind of cool because the documentary is literally in my voice. And I didn't have this great relationship with Dilla. I was probably one of the few native tongue cats that didn't. He was very close with all of the native tongue, but you know, like him and Phife were like best friends. And but I didn't have this relationship with him. I kind of just met him once in passing. So it was even almost mind blowing that his mom offered me the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And even when I asked, I was like, like, I didn't have the relation. I had to be honest. Like, I didn't know your son like that. Like, why are you letting me do this? And to which, like, she seen me perform a few times, and she was like, I think he would have been cool with this. I think that, I think he would have wanted this to happen. Which was very humbling, and that was all I needed to see. You know what I'm saying? I see my cousin Miguel, cousin of yours, my cousin Miguel, Cali.
Hey.
But just to say, so that was very humbling, and I took it real serious, and I recruited some of the dopest cats in hip hop, by some of the cats like Bun B, some cats like CeeLo Green, like Chuck D, like Source Money, like Del the Funky Homo Sapien, like Freeway, like Chi Ali, like My Son. I got even some young cats like Lil D and Afro. Like I literally went there and created this really masterful project. And you're gonna hear me in a few. You're gonna hear me in a few ways you've never heard me before. And this entire album is produced by J Dilla. You know what I'm saying? And so it's amazing. It's an amazing project. Everyone's gonna be like, wow. And and I think it's some music that's gonna live for a long time. Now, in the making of this project, came to the film side. And mind you, the documentary and the album are gonna come out together. And so that's gonna be like around the end of this year, possibly the top of next year. But now in the making of this documentary, there came a point where I had to do some legal stuff, in which I found myself sitting on my hands for a few months. And I got mad because I felt like I had all of my eggs in one basket. I'm like, oh man, this Dilla thing is amazing, but like I've been sitting for a couple of months. Like, so I came up with the idea, you know what? I'm not gonna sit ever again. I'm gonna stay doing a theme project. And this theme project is, there's a ton of producers all over the world that I think are dope. I'm gonna reach out to just cats I think are dope and be like, yo, let's do 5 songs. Let's do it.
Yes, you should.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I agree.
And it's so many different sounds of different cats, and some are young, some you've never heard of, some are well known, like a Pete Rock or of the sort. Or I know I want to do one with Large Professor, but also gonna do stuff with cats that you've never heard of, maybe like a T Gut who does stuff with the ASAPs, or someone like DJ Dres, who actually DJ Dres learned on the MP with Dilla. You know what I'm saying? Was Dilla's childhood friend and was the original DJ for Slum Village. You know what I'm saying? And an amazing, when I say amazing producer, like some of the stuff he's already sent me has already sat me down and just made me write. Like literally the tracks just spoke to me to that degree. Or a Vitamin D who's out in Seattle and amazing. But there's a whole bunch of cats that are just really dope producers that I'm gonna pull 5 songs from and always keep myself putting out stuff. So the first EP is the Stu Bangers project. Sheep Stu. Me and Stu Bangers, who was an amazing cat from Massachusetts, dope producer. And and the stuff he does is just hard body, like really, some real boom bap type stuff. And like he took me to the block with it, you know what I'm saying? So I got this really cool project that I'm gonna release in April. Well, the first single in April. First single is called Simple. And we just shot the video for it, and it's pretty cool. The artwork is amazing, and everything about the project is really top tier. And so y'all gonna really dig this Stu Bangers project. And I got, I'm gonna start just dropping EPs just out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Literally, I'm just doing 5 songs with all kinds.
When that drop, I'm gonna have to bring you back so we could talk about the next projects, because I know it's gonna be so much more coming after that.
I'm gonna try to do something really cool with the release of it. And me and you were talking about I'm gonna pull in a friend of mine who I'm gonna talk to after when we finish this. I'm about to have a meeting with a friend of mine, and that friend is, we were talking about Stone Pizza.
Oh yeah. I can't wait. Yes.
So so I'm gonna talk to a friend of mine, and if anybody knows about about the Stone Pizza situation, I'm gonna see if my friend will allow me to host with him a scenario where we invite people to a fantastic meal, some listening, and some conversation. And it's gonna happen for 4 continuous weeks. It'll be like on a Wednesday for 4 weeks in a row.
Okay.
Because that's how I'm gonna drop this project. I'm gonna drop a single a week for 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see how how,
and I could go live there.
All right. You see how these days, if you drop a project, you could drop an album. If I drop an album today, next week people are like, so what else you got? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I said there's so much more coming after you do this.
Right. So I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna give everybody 1 week to love a single, and then I'm gonna drop another one. But the thing that I'm gonna do that's also really cool is, before it's available, like if it's available Friday on the streaming, Wednesday when we do our live from our location, we're gonna give everybody that rocks with us the opportunity to buy it directly from us before it comes out.
Well, let me know, Kazoo. I'm behind you with that.
All right, yeah.
I'm right here with you.
We're outside the box now. Like, like the kids, I've learned too much from these kids. Like, I don't have to do it how they do it, or how they do it, or how anyone does it. I can kind of figure it out for myself.
Well, and I like how you're giving the, like I said, we should give the roses and the flowers to our people while they're here, and that's why I'm recognizing you, Dres, right now.
Are you trying to say I'm old?
You're not old, but you're older than me, cause but no,
I'm about tired of niggas telling me that I'm giving you some flowers. I'm like, listen,
no, but it's okay about the documentaries after they pass away and everything. But you are still giving the flowers to the people while they're here, and the ones who passed on, you're recognizing as well. And I appreciate you for that. And to bring that, because I need you to say this right here on live.
What's up?
You did a tribute song for Phife Dawg.
Yeah.
It's like 2016, right?
Yeah.
Peace, right?
Peace, Phife, no doubt.
Yeah. I see somebody in the comments that's related to you, want you to say so too. But you had a couple family members' voices on there, right?
Yeah, I did. I think yours is on there.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know, because I don't want anybody to see me when I call them, but that is my voice.
You will not be getting no publishing behind it, but yeah.
No, I don't need that. Was enough for me, cousin.
I'm messing with
you. That's what family.
But thank you. You know what I'm saying? And this is my word. Like, and even that was a hurtful moment in the native tongues. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone was hurt. That Phife passed, and God bless Phife, man. I'm like, he was just a great dude, and is missed, and sorely missed, and just loved.
Yes.
But just to say, like, it was the original idea I had, but understandably everyone was hurt, and so I didn't hear back from everyone. But how I had everyone say peace, I wanted it to be each a member from the native tongue.
That would
have been. Saying it was supposed to be, like in my head, I was like, if I could just get everyone to just say peace.
So that was your vision. Your vision
right. It would have been crazy, but but I have family. Like they, like everyone was in just a funky space, and understandably, so like I needed it then. I needed it, like I needed it for the session that I'm recording is right now. So I wound up reaching out to the family, to my family, you know what I'm saying, which were you guys, and you know, like y'all were right there. So I was really
Kesha keeps saying she had the best piece, but she on the live. Kesha, I told her piece sound like Mike Tyson, but that's another story, Kesha. My piece was the best. So
but you know what I'm saying, but
out.
imagine if it had been each, you know, where, you know, and all of our voices are recognizable, you know what I'm saying, like you'd have been like, oh snap, that's, you know, Tip, or that's, you know, wow, that's Merce, or, you know, like, you know, but you know, I could only ask once, and I didn't want to ask again, you know, because everyone was just crushed.
Everybody was busy, but we came through. Your family came
Come
through.
on now,
That is my voice.
That's what family's about.
The Fife Dog tribute.
That's what family's
about. So y'all go check that out.
No doubt. Yeah, and something I think is really cool. Go on Bandcamp, y'all. If you didn't know about Peace Fife, Peace Fife is a tribute song to the life of Fife Dog that I did. It features Red Alert, Chi Ali, and Sadat X. You can find it on Bandcamp, and you can purchase it for $1. And every single sale of that song goes directly to an account that Fife's wife controls. You know what I'm saying? So please go purchase Peace Fife off of Bandcamp. And like I said, I literally, from the moment I conceived this record, recorded it, I've taken nothing from it. I structured it so that, you know, the only place it's available is on Bandcamp, and that Bandcamp account goes directly to Fife's wife.
And I'll make sure when I upload this video, I'm gonna put that link under the video on YouTube.
Cool.
So everybody go on there, they can click that link. Chi Ali's link will be up there as well. Your link for the merch, if anybody want to purchase.
That's right. Buy that merch, no doubt. And we got some cool new stuff coming up. Everybody's about to be blown away. Like this Stu Bangers project is something. Like, and it's kind of ill because like I said, I was working on the D&D project, and I just felt like I was just sitting on my hands too long. So I just started on this project, and it just took a life of its own, and it kind of brought me back to the block a little bit. And so I'm a little grateful for that, because, you know, as you get older, you get a little more mellow, and you start wanting to put a little bit more message and everything. And
absolutely,
this was a little bit of like, nah, fuck that. So
you got scared. You still got scared, cousin. You still got it.
So I think everybody gonna be like, oh shit, we forgot about that dude. You know.
Well, we're gonna definitely we gonna be reposting that. We're gonna let everybody know about when you had that listening session.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hot ticket. That's gonna be a hot ticket. Like I said, if y'all aren't familiar with Stone Pizza, you should get familiar with Stone Pizza. And yeah, it's a very cool situation. Everyone that gets a chance to go, I'm gonna be very glad they can.
Yeah, so we look forward to it. And I thank you so much, cousin. See, people don't understand. I had Thanksgiving dinner with this man, and we always talk.
For a lot of years, right?
To do it in front of everybody and let everybody hear your stories. Keep going live, Dres, and
you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's up. Communication is so paramount, especially in our community. We don't talk enough about who we are.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Who we honestly are, and who we honestly can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and when we're at a place now where we all have children, and it's important that that they stand on our shoulders.
Exactly.
Right?
I appreciate you, cousin. Instagram.
I appreciate you.
All right. But everybody,
Disco Twins are in here. You know Disco Twins is in your live right now? Do you know that?
Yeah,
the Disco Twins is in your live right now? Like, you kind of a big thing right now. Kind of a big thing. Like, you got Disco Twins in your live. I'm just letting you know your shit is kind of popping right now.
Oh, thank you, cousin. Thank you, Disco Twins. I appreciate everybody who came to the live today, and make sure you guys I will be uploading this video, so you guys, if you missed it at 6 o'clock and you missed the jewels that Dres was dropping, I'll be reposting it. It'll also be on YouTube and Facebook for a little while, but definitely on YouTube from now on, starting tomorrow. All right. Love all you guys. Thank you.
Everybody have a good night. I see you, Kesha.
You see Kesha, she want to be seen.
She got some art for his teeth for us. I like that. Yo, much love, everybody. Yo, y'all keep loving each other, keep loving yourself, and you know, God will, tomorrow's a better day for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
Not that today was bad. Right?
Absolutely. Peace, cousin. Talk to you soon. All right.